My name's Rob Brown, and I'm here to share with you some findings from our Triple Net Zero report. What we've done in the past is gone out to the market and especially focusing on the US market. And this year, we actually went wider spread and went to the globe. I'd like to thank everyone that partook in the interview process. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort, and hopefully you can find some value in some of the findings that we have. Just for everyone's awareness, it is available to everyone to be able to access this report and really start diving into some of the detail. But as I mentioned, thank you ever so much for all the interviewees to give us this sort of information. What we want to do is address why the top performers are top performing and meeting their sustainability goals. Firstly, it's because they're creating a culture of urgency. We have a level of importance, just as after Christmas, you get a little bit, of Christmas pudding. You basically say, well, it's important I lose weight. The fact that you're not adding urgency to that means nothing's going to happen. So we find that in the corporate environment that you have to have a level of urgency to actually meet something. Secondly, the top performers are also bridging the gap. What this really means is they're communicating across all levels of their organization. I've walked around this event and spoken to many people, and it's the same discussion throughout. You can't just have it at the C-suite, you have to have it at the site level. Everyone has to be aligned, everyone has to be bought in. So it's much more about internal selling the concepts, the initiatives within the organization. And what we found with majority of the organizations is they're not trying to do it alone. They're bringing in expertise when it's required. It's the fact of you're looking at your business as a whole and realizing that you want to focus in on your core business and therefore bring in other agents to help you on your not so core business, but tie them and align them to your corporate strategy. When we look at, we're all led by sort of quarterly reviews, we're all led by budgets. It's sometimes really difficult to play the long game. We have to set targets, we have to measure against those targets, and we found that the top performing agents in this environment really focus in on the fact that they want to get from A to C, and the B is incremental. So this is a really a key point that it sort of refers to the previous four. So when you're looking at the sort of common barriers within your organization, one of them is you don't necessarily have the metrics, you don't necessarily have the framework to measure against, so it's very hard to communicate. It's also the fact that you're not communicating through all parts of the organization to actually meet the sort of the desired outcomes that you want. It's also the fact that people are using the word sustainability and not creating the necessary business cases to address the requirements they need to actually meet a goal. So if you want to decarb by X% or you wanted to promote your reuse, people don't realize that there's the mass balance arrangement where you actually have to look at water. You have to look at energy as it's attributed to water. You have to look at energy on its own. So what we found in our study, and hopefully you will see it too, is the magnitude of internal barriers that we need to overcome to be able to achieve our goals. Everyone feels like it's achievable, everyone wants to do it, but it's difficult. So we need to overcome that together. We need to do that across the multi parts of anyone's organization. And it's really just hard, hard work, just working towards it. So as I mentioned right at the start, I really want to thank everyone that took part in the interview process. It's really hard to be honest and open in those situations. So thank you again. And hopefully you find the report really rewarding. It's full of lots of information. So thank you very much.